Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean here, and welcome to the rebuild of the Cleveland Browns, where today we're going to be winning a Super Bowl with the Browns within 3 years. Now, looking at the team, I can tell you probably 90% of it is going to be gone. I'm probably going to keep Joe Thomas, Corey Coleman, maybe Josh Gordon, uh, and then Jamie Collins is going to stay for sure. Christian Kirksey may or may not stay. Ogba's going to stay for now. And Danny Shelton is going to stay. Everybody else is, pretty much up for grabs. So I'm going to get going on some trades, and I'll come back with you guys when I've got some stuff figured out. So with our first trade, we're going to be sending Gary Barnidge. I think his name is Jamie Meter, but he's some crap defensive tackle. And Joe Hayden to the 49ers for a first-round pick this year, as well as a first-round pick next year. With our next trade, we're sending right guard John Greco, along with Isaiah Crowell and Demario Davis, to the Indianapolis Colts for their first-round pick this year and next year. With our next trade, we're going to be sending, I think his name is Austin Pasdor, right tackle, and I think his name is Jamar Taylor, but our second, or I guess our best overall cornerback now, but as well as a third-round pick this year to the Cowboys for Dak Prescott. So we now have our franchise quarterback, which is nice, but I'm still kind of hoping to tank this year if at all possible. With our next trade, we're sticking with the Cowboys. We're going to be sending them Christian Kirksey, Desmond Bryant, and Gabe Wright for Zach Martin, so kind of shoring up the O-line a little bit. I just want to take a quick look at the team because we do have some new starters. We have Dak Prescott at quarterback and then Zach Martin. So with this trade, we're sending Britton Colquitt, Alvin Bailey, and Tremont Williams to the Seahawks for their third-round pick this year. And that pick is actually about to get flipped to the Bears in this trade right here that we're going to give them Terrell Pryor and Stephen Paya, I think is how you say his name, and the third-round pick that we just got from the Seahawks. And in return, we're going to be getting 2 first-round picks, one this year and one next year. So this is going to be the last trade that I go ahead and do this year, I think. I don't think there's much more I can do. I've already cut the roster down to only 56 players, and we're up to $88 million in cap room. So I'm going to go ahead and sign a whole bunch of free agents to actually play, positions this year, and then I'll see you guys at the midseason. So here at the midseason mark, we are sitting at 2-6. And the Bengals are 7-1. That's pretty crazy. We actually just beat the Jets by 3 points. That's I would say it's impressive, but the Jets suck. Looking at XP, nobody's really standing out, which is kind of unfortunate. Hopefully we'll actually be able to win some awards, like if Dak could win Rookie of the Year. That would be really nice, but I do have 5 players to re-sign right now. One of them being Jamie Collins, who wants a lot of money. Josh Gordon, Jonathan okay, so really it's just Collins and Gordon, the only 2 guys I'm really worried about. But I know at the end of the... Geez, look at that. Look at the amount of cap room that we have. That's insane. I know at the end of the year I'm going to have half of the team up to be re-signed because of how many free agents I brought in. But I will... work on getting Collins re-signed and scout some players. So when I do actually get him re-signed, I'll let you know. But after that, we will be on to the playoffs, which I am 100% sure that we are not going to make. So Jamie Collins will be back on the team. So here at the end of the season, Tom Brady ends up winning MVP, which is kind of impressive. Dak Prescott has 33,000 XP, and Corey Coleman has 17,000, which is very good to see. Defense, Nate Irving did actually kind of well. Jamie Collins, okay. Why? I don't know why Lansana was starting. I started Ogba, but Collins and Ogba seem like they did all right, and the D-line looks just absolutely terrible. But let's take a quick look at stats. We end up going 4-12, which is good. I actually wonder if that'll be the first pick. But Dak Prescott, almost 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 19 picks. 65% completion percentage. Great rookie season out of him. Duke Johnson, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Terrence McGee, backup running back, doesn't really matter. Corey Coleman, another great year out of a rookie. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Michael Floyd was second on the team. Almost 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Owen Daniels had 3 touchdowns. Josh Gordon had 12 with 963 yards. That's kind of impressive out of him. I'd actually like to see. Joe Thomas let up 14 sacks. That's crazy. Eugene Monroe let up 11. Nate Irving was the leading tackler on the defense with 148, followed by Tank Carter and Emmanuel Ogbah. As for tackles for loss, Quentin Coples and Terrence Knighton both had 7 each. And then Bjorn Werner actually led the team in sacks with 10, followed by Jamie Collins at 8 and Quentin Coples at 5.5. And Nate Irving led the team in picks, followed by Jamie Collins with 4 and Will Hill with 3. Now, did we have any defensive touchdowns? We at least had 1, and Kawan Williams did have a defensive touchdown. Now, let's go take a look at awards and see if we actually ended up winning any of them. Hopefully, Dak got Rookie of the Year. That'd be really nice. So, taking a look at the AFC side, like I said, Tom Brady won MVP, and there were no Browns in the running. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Derek Johnson, and there were no Browns in the running. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dak Prescott does win. Corey Coleman comes in third, and that's it for us. On the defensive side of the ball, Emmanuel Ogbah comes in third for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's pretty nice. Our rookies actually performed pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and use some XP, and then we'll get into the offseason. So here in the re-signing stage, I have like 27 players to re-sign, and I'm definitely not going to be re-signing most of them. Some of them I will try to give contracts to, like Will Hill, he'll sign. Most of these guys, if anything, I'm just going to try to trade them. So honestly, it's probably not the best idea to actually be signing them to contracts, considering the cap penalty that I'll be taking, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Hopefully I'll be able to get some good players in return and not have to worry about it. Although Michael Floyd will actually probably keep on the team for the time being, so the rest of these guys I'm really not too worried about. Kawan Williams I'll bring back. I feel like I definitely get him in like almost every rebuild because he's a pretty solid slot corner, or nickel corner I mean, but the rest of these guys, yeah, they can just pretty much all fuck off. So here in free agency, I did try to get Dontari Poe. He actually was a free agent for once, but it was kind of unfortunate. I actually tried overpaying him a lot, but the Dolphins overpaid him by even more. So unfortunately, we're not going to get him. But we do actually have some nice pieces that we can actually look to move here. And we do still have a ton of cap room. And most of that actually now is being taken up by all these first-round picks. And we actually do end up with the number 1 pick, as well as the 2, 3, and 7th, and 24 picks in this year's draft, which is just insane. There's a few really good guys. There's like 2, or at least 1 for sure, extremely good quarterbacks. So I may actually draft him and then either trade him or trade Dak, depending on who's better. But I think Dak's up to an 89, so I don't see him being better than that. Unless he has superstar development, then that may be the look. But we'll have to see when we get to the draft. But as for now, I'm going to look to trade some guys, probably for players, and see what we can get here. So with this trade, we're sending one of our second-round picks, as well as Duke Johnson, and I don't even know this guy's name, but some corner, to the Eagles for Fletcher Cox. So that's a pretty nice trade right there. And we do definitely have a lot of good D tackles now. Fletcher Cox, Terrence Knighton, Danny Shelton, and Ian Williams. So the 2 that I'm going to be keeping are Fletcher Cox, obviously, since I just traded for him, and Danny Shelton. So I'm going to look for a trade involving Knighton and Williams now. With this trade, I'm going to be sending Ian Williams, Terrence Knighton, and a 3rd-round pick next year to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Le'Veon Bell. And this team is starting to have some really nice pieces to it. Le'Veon Bell, Fletcher Cox just added this offseason. Dak Prescott got really good. So, I mean, basically, we kind of just traded out Duke Johnson for Le'Veon Bell with, giving up like a couple of draft picks, which I'm very happy with. With this trade, we're sending a 2nd-round pick and some 64 overall right tackle to the Titans for Jack Conklin, who will be our new starting right tackle. I didn't really want to do it because I feel like I get him like every single rebuild, but we are going to be trading our last first-round pick this year and Sean Coleman, our current backup right tackle, to the Cowboys for Travis Frederick because we just really needed an upgrade at center. So now the O-line is looking very, very solid with the exception of Joel Bitonio, and even he's not terrible. So Le'Veon Bell should have plenty of holes to run, well, into, I guess, but plenty of room to run next year, so that'll be very good for us. The offense is looking pretty solid, except for tight end. It's just basically the defense that needs a lot of work now. So, wait, what happened to... Oh my god, they got Will Hill playing corner. Okay, so defense needs a lot of work. I'm going to keep looking for some trades, probably some involving the secondary. But if I cannot find any that I really like, which I'm sure I'll find at least one, we'll go ahead and go to the draft. So here at the draft, like I said, we have the first 3 selections along with the 17th pick. And with our first pick, we're going to take this quarterback and see if he's better. And, okay, we may actually have to start this guy. He's an 84 overall, same age as Dak, and he has superstar development. That's going to be a tough decision, I think, about who to actually start. Now with our next pick, I already know who I'm going to get. This middle linebacker right here, Jonte Pinkston. He seems like he's just fantastic. And he's the 4th best player in the draft, 79 overall, quick development. Seems like a really solid pick. Now, for the 3rd pick, I'm not entirely sure who I want to take. There's like 3 guys I'm looking at, and okay. Maybe I don't want to trade down. If anything, I would take this. And actually, yes, I will go ahead and take that because it'll give me an extra pick to try to trade for some secondary help next year, which would be nice. So we could trade away this pick as well, actually. So after quickly checking our scheme and everything, I think Riley Rabe is the way to go. And he has quick development, number 11 overall player in the draft, 78 overall. I'll take it. Hopefully he'll turn out to be something good. Now, all I'm hoping for is that at 17, okay, my receiver just went. That sucks. And then McAllister just went as well. I'm going to have to take a look at that receiver. He's on the Jags. And McAllister on the Panthers. I kind of want to see if they are actually any good. But here at our number 17 pick, doesn't really look like I'm going to want to trade this away. But let me quickly just take a look at the players here and see if I actually want to take one. But if not, of course, I will be trading it down. So I think I'm actually going to take this receiver. He's projected to go in the 2nd round, but his talent is late 1st, and he's actually quite fast and big. So he has slow development. Son of a bitch. All right, that sucks. Probably should have traded that away. Fuck, man, that receiver I wanted has superstar development, and he actually seems like he's pretty good. That kind of sucks. Although I'm kind of wondering if I can trade for him. May not be worth it, though. And then the Panthers got the other end I was looking at, and he has quick development, 76 overall. So we definitely had a solid draft, except for that receiver that I took. But I'm going to go ahead and look for some trades after I advance the week here. And once I find some, I'll let you know. So with this trade, we're going to be sending Dak Prescott as well as a 1st and 4th round pick this year to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Jalen Ramsey. We definitely need the secondary help because our corners are just trash. I don't actually know how many corners we have in our roster. But Jalen Ramsey will definitely help out a lot. Still need a free safety and another defensive end. But the roster is looking pretty decent, to be honest. But the defense needs help, for sure. With this trade, we're going to be sending a 1st round pick this year, Cam Irving, and a 2nd round next year to the 49ers for DeForest Buckner. So our defensive line is actually looking pretty nice now, too. Since we have Buckner, the rookie that we drafted, and Fletcher Cox and Danny Shelton at the D-tackle spots. So Mike Neal, I don't even know how he got on the team. Same with John Bostic and Jacon Jarrett. But they're going to have to go. Although Jarrett might actually be the starting free safety this year. But somehow I have accrued like $31 million in cap penalty. So that's very not good. I was not at all expecting this to go through. So I was looking through all the trades, looking to see if any teams were interested in John Bostic and Mike Neal. And the Ravens were the only one interested in Bostic. They had no interest in Neal. So I was like, I wonder if I could get Eric Weddle. So Eric Weddle's going to be our new starting free safety, I guess. I'm going to have to go move his position. But the team is definitely looking a lot better with that addition to the team. The only thing really that we're lacking at now is corner and tight end, which is not a terrible problem to have. Tight end we can kind of get by without a super good one, but corner needs an upgrade. Just it needs it. Like, I'm fine with Kawan Williams being the nickel corner, but we definitely need another outside starter. So I'm going to try to look for that. I don't know that I'll be able to get one that I can actually afford and is, good enough for me to be willing to part with picks for, but we'll see. So with this trade, we're sending Jaquan Jarrett, a second-round pick this year and a third-round pick next year, to the Buffalo Bills for Ronald Darby. And I'm not actually planning on him being the second outside starting cornerback. I'm going to try to find... Although actually he might be, because I think the guy I want is Vernon Hargreaves, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get him. I don't think it'll be too hard, honestly, because I have this guy who they're interested in. Okay, well, this is going to take a second, so let me get this done, and I'll come back. So that wasn't too hard. We just got this Drango left guard guy, a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick this year for Vernon Hargreaves. So now that actually leaves us open to trade Kawan Williams and Marcus Williams, if at all possible. So actually, some teams are interested, and perfect. The Eagles like them both. So I'm gonna try to work out a trade with them. But if not them, another team. So we'll see what happens. So I had a bunch of 7th-round picks this year that I got just from kind of trading away people that I was going to cut last year. So I used some of those to get a 4th-round pick from the Eagles that I'm now using to trade back to them, along with Kawan and Marcus Williams to get Zach Ertz. So the tight end position is now filled. So this team is really coming together. Honestly, at this point, we just really need some guys to progress, and we'll get better. Now... As I think about it, the receivers, they're decent, but we don't really have, stars. So that may need addressing. But if it does, then obviously I'll do it. But it'll probably have to wait until next year to actually get an upgrade there. But we're actually looking pretty solid. I think we'll definitely make the playoffs this year. I just need to actually go ahead and sign some backups because we're a little bit thin. So here at the midseason mark of season number 2, we are currently sitting at 5-2, which is quite nice. Looks like we're on pace for the playoffs, and looks like our rookie quarterback is doing very well. We're actually first in the division, just ahead of the 5-3 Ravens, and we're about to head into the bye week. We do have 3 players ready to negotiate. I'm actually just very curious to see how much money I actually have. Yeah, that's actually quite a bit. Oh, fucking shit. Zach Martin, why you gotta do me like that, bro? Why you gotta do me like that? That sucks. Alright, I'm just gonna try to increase his deal so he doesn't do the same thing, and he will re-sign. So that's nice, but I'm gonna have to franchise tag Zach Martin, which is a little unfortunate. The rest of these guys don't matter. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sim to the playoffs now, since I don't really have anything left to do at the mid-season point, except I'm actually going to use this guy's XP. But after this, I'll go ahead and go to the playoffs, and I am quite certain we're going to make it. So hopefully we will actually have some games to play. So here at the playoffs, we actually missed. We didn't make it. Okay. That's really weird. All right. So we went 9-7. The AFC North, it was pretty typical of what it's like in real life, at least like a year or two ago. let's first take a look at stats. Our rookie quarterback, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 picks, 64% completion percentage. Le'Veon Bell, almost 1,800 yards, 21 touchdowns. That's crazy. Some random rookie I signed in free agency had 8 touchdowns. Receiving, Michael Floyd led the team. Yeah, okay, that's probably our downfall as our receivers. With 750 yards, 6 touchdowns. Zach Ertz had 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Josh Gordon, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Corey Coleman, almost 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. As for blocking, Joe Thomas and Jack Conklin each let up 7, but the rest of the O-line was very solid, not letting up a single sack. And then on the defensive side of the ball, our rookie middle linebacker, Jonte Pinkston, leads the team in tackles with 129. As for tackles for losses, led by another rookie, Riley Rabe. And then sacks, DeForest Buckner leads the team with 13.5, followed by Fletcher Cox with 13, and Jamie Collins with 11.5. As for picks, Ronald Darby led the team with 4, followed by Pinkston with 3, and then Weddle and Ramsey each had 2. As for defensive touchdowns, if we had any, we did not. So, moving on to awards, I'm pretty sure we at least have some awards. Aaron Rodgers won MVP. Le'Veon Bell came in 4th. I thought I saw in the news thing, it actually said he won MVP, but I guess I was wrong. Coach of the Year goes to Sean Payton. And we're actually up here at number 9. So, Le'Veon Bell at least does win Offensive Player of the Year for the AFC. And he's the only Brown we have up there. Defensive, Khalil Mack wins it, but look at this. Rookie linebacker Jonte Pinkston comes in 3rd for Defensive Player of the Year. That's pretty great. Rookie of the Year goes to our quarterback, B.J. Baldridge. And then we also had Deron Colbert, who is that slow development crap receiver we took. And then Pinkston does win Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is very nice to see. And the rest of them don't really matter that much. So, unfortunately, we actually missed the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and use these, all this XP, and head on to the offseason. And hopefully we'll actually make the playoffs in season number 3, because this is quite a good team. So I said I was going to upgrade my receivers. Well, here is the first big trade for season number 3. We're going to be sending a first-round pick this year, Josh Gordon, and a fourth-round pick next year for Julio Jones. This team is going to be good. I still have another trade in mind that I'm going to try to do involving Michael Floyd, because my goal, I said it to myself, my goal is to have Corey Coleman be the slot receiver, and there's another very high overall, very big receiver that I'm going to be targeting. As for the defense, there is still some work I would like to do. Maybe an upgrade, strong safety, maybe right outside linebacker. Actually, yeah, probably right outside linebacker. Maybe strong safety if I can, maybe even left end. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get that other receiver, because Julio Jones is getting me hype. So the receiver I had in mind was actually A.J. Green. But he was actually a lower overall at this point than Mike Evans. So I think this is definitely going to be a good trade for us. The only problem that I currently have is the cap room. I have $3.5 million in cap. So really my goal is just to find, really good players that are also really cheap, which at this point is a little rough. But I did achieve my goal at least of having Corey Coleman be the slot receiver, and I do still have this other guy, Colbert, that I could trade if I wanted to, but I think it'd be nice to have, a really good fourth receiver like that. So I'm thinking the offense is pretty much set, but I'm going to look and see if there's anything that I can upgrade on defense with $3.5 million in cap room. With this trade, we're sending Will Tye and a 6th and 5th round pick next year to the Texans for their first round pick this year. So, once again, I was not expecting this to go through. We're sending Cody Kessler, a 74 overall quarterback, to the Raiders for their first-round pick. And it turns out they actually won the Super Bowl. But what we're going to do with that first-round pick is go over to the Lions, try to get Darius Slay. This should definitely work this time. I've had a little bit of trouble with it. But the pick's not here. Madden pisses me off with this. I just really wish there was like a trade finder on this game like there is on 2K and MLB. Speaking of 2K, be on the lookout for some 2K rebuilds coming up shortly. But so anyway, as we go back to Darius Slay, we're going to give them Vernon Hargraves and the Texans and Raiders picks from this year. And we end up getting Darius Slay on the team. So the corner spot is definitely much improved. I would definitely take Darius Slay over Vernon Hargraves every day of the week, as he's now actually our number one corner over Jalen Ramsey, which moves Darby down to the nickel place. So defense is improved. I would like a better backup middle linebacker. But aside from that, really, that's pretty much all I can do at this point. I think I did really want to keep the number one overall pick just so that I could try to trade it down and get some more picks probably, like for next year if I end up having to trade for more players. And that turns out to be the reason why the Raiders gave me a first-round pick for Cody Kessler's. Derek Carr didn't want to sign with them, so that's kind of interesting. But I have negative cap room as it is because of the first overall pick, so I'm just going to go ahead and sim to the draft. And, well, I'll see you guys there. So I ended up actually trading down one spot. I had to do it manually with the Jets. And now Atlanta's trying to give me 3 first-round picks for the number 2, which is pretty crazy. I would definitely take that trade. So I had to manually trade again, but we're sending our 9th pick that we got from the Falcons along with Xavier Cooper and our 5th-round pick this year to the 49ers for their first-round pick, which is at number 20, and their first-round pick next year. So this trade, we're sending our 16th pick along with a 6th-round pick this year and next year to the Buccaneers for their 1st and 2 seconds next year. And with the final trade of the draft, we're sending our 20th pick along with 2 7th-rounders this year to the Giants for their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-round picks next year. So this trade, we're just going to be kind of dumping Will Hill off to the Eagles for their fullback because we actually don't even have one. But real quick, Adrian Peterson did not get signed, so I actually picked him up to be our backup running back behind Le'Veon Bell. So this offense is going to be just crazy, but there is a trade that I have in mind that I would like to get worked out, and it involves Rashad Jones, most likely. Alright, so first I'm going to be sending a 2nd-round pick to the Chiefs for their right guard that I don't want to try to say his name. And then we're going to be flipping that right guard to, oh man, I have no cap room, this is crazy, to the Cardinals, and we're going to attempt to actually get Tyrann Mathieu. Alright, now this is just fucking bullshit, man. What the hell is this? Look, I have $260K in cap room, right? And it's saying I would exceed it. Alright, that sucks. I'm going to have to do another trade first, but I'm definitely going to come back and do this one. So first one I'm going to do is just go ahead and get Joey Bosa like it's no big deal. We're going to send Eric Weddle and a 1st and 2nd pick, or 1st and 2nd round pick to the Chargers for Joey Bosa. So now that I've cleared up a little bit more cap, let's go back to the Cardinals and see if this trade will actually work this time, which I'm really hoping it will. I still have to get a strong safety too, so hopefully everything will work out. And they do accept that trade for Tyrann Mathieu, so that is definitely a good thing. Now we just gotta, work out a trade for a strong safety, and I was thinking Rashad Jones, and that is probably still going to be the look, but let me just quickly make sure I can actually afford it. Just kidding. I saw Landon Collins, and I decided I wanted him instead. He's also much cheaper, so we're just sending them 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. So the team is looking just dirty now. Let me just auto-order the depth chart. Offense is just sick. On O-line, well, Jack Conklin, for whatever reason, is still only an 88. But Tony is our worst one at 84. Our rookie quarterback, or he's not a rookie anymore, but after 1 year is up to an 89. Our receivers are so much improved. It's not even funny. Joey Bosa now on the D-line. The D-line is crazy. Our corners are very solid. Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey, Ronald Darby. And then secondary as a whole is just really good. And then the only kind of weak spot on the entire team is Emmanuel Ogba, and he's actually been performing much better than his overall would indicate. Although maybe a backup middle linebacker could do us some good. So we're sending the Buccaneers our last first-round pick, along with two sixth-round picks this year for Quan Alexander, who's going to be the backup to Pinkston. And this team is just pretty perfect, I think, besides Emmanuel Ogba. But again, he's been performing much better than you would think that he is. So I'm not worried about that. Well, we could use a kicker, actually, that is better than a 74 overall. I'm getting right down to, I'm nitpicking at this point. This team is ridiculous. So if we don't win a Super Bowl this year, I'm going to be extremely surprised. So we're going to be sending the Ravens a third-round pick next year and Dustin Hopkins for Justin Tucker, who I'm pretty sure is probably the best kicker in the league at this point, but I didn't exactly go through every team and look. Just took the best one that I saw. So team is definitely just there's nothing left that I can possibly do to it with the amount of salary cap and picks that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to the midseason, and I'm expecting to be 7-0 by that time. So here at the midseason mark, I said 7-0, but it looks like we are 6-1, top of the division by far. There are 9 players to re-sign, but oh wow, we have a lot of XP. I doubt I even have the money for that, although I'm kind of curious. I really don't think I would be able to afford a season 4 if we had. Actually, I definitely could. Like, what? That's kind of crazy. So I guess I'll go ahead and do all these. I mean, not that it really matters. But anyway, because we're definitely going to win a Super Bowl this year. So, I'm just so confident about that. But might as well go ahead and sim to the playoffs now. I'm actually going to use some of these guys' XP, like our quarterback, and, well, that'll probably be it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys at the playoffs, and we are definitely making it this time. So here at the end of season number 3, our quarterback actually ends up winning MVP, and we go 14-2. Let's take a look at stats. B.J. Baldridge, 4,600 yards, 45 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 69% completion percentage. This guy is insane. And he's only a second-year player. As for rushing, Le'Veon Bell almost 1,900 yards and 15 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson as the backup, 750 yards, 13 touchdowns. Receiving, Mike Evans led the team in receptions with 91. Also had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Zach Ertz, 89 catches, 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. Julio Jones, almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. Corey Coleman in the slot, 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. As for blocking, Joe Thomas led up 6 sacks again, but the rest of the O-line was really good. And then defense, Jonte Pinkston leads our team in tackles again with 112. Tackles for loss was led by Joey Bosa with 10, and sacks was led by DeForest Buckner with 13, followed by Collins with 10.5, and Joey Bosa with 9. Picks were led by Darius Slay with 6. What a good pickup. And then Pinkston with 4, Darby and Ramsey both had 3. And did we have any defensive touchdowns? We did not. So let's go and take a look at awards. Of course, B.J. Baldridge won MVP, and Le'Veon Bell comes in third for MVP. Coach of the Year, taking us to the Super Bowl, the Browns, that is, of course. B.J. Baldridge actually also wins Offensive Player of the Year. Le'Veon Bell also came in third place for Offensive Player of the Year. And we did not have any other Browns on there. Defensive goes to Avery Williamson. Pinkston comes in third. Offensive rookie, we didn't even have any rookies. So I want to see how much XP B.J. Baldridge actually has, because it's going to be a lot. All right, 39,000. Very, very good amount. I'm going to use all this XP before we go ahead and get on into the divisional round matchup, and we'll also see who we're taking on. Oh, okay, yeah. So see you guys in the divisional round. So here in the divisional round of the playoffs, we're going to be taking on the 9-6-1 Kansas City Chiefs. And the overalls, we have a 95 overall. They have an 87. I'm definitely confident that we will be moving on to the conference championship. So coming up on halftime, we're currently up 24-3. And it's definitely looking like we're going to be winning this game pretty easily. And oh, absolutely. And we are going to be moving on to the AFC Championship in our first year in the playoffs, actually. And Alex Smith had a terrible game. I see Le'Veon Bell at 200 yards. That's very nice. But Alex Smith, geez, our defense just played amazing, I guess. But he had a, 38% completion percentage? So we have a 99 offense and a 99 defense for a 95 overall, which is pretty crazy considering the dumpster fire that we started with 3 years ago. So it looks like we're taking on the 12-3-1 San Diego Chargers in the conference championship. That's pretty crazy. I just want to see if we have any XP to use, and we do not. I actually auto-upgraded. So I want to see what their overall is. First and foremost, ours is still a 95. Theirs is only an 86, and they went 12-3-1. That's pretty crazy. So here in the third quarter, I kind of zoned out, but it's looking like we actually took a lead. We're up 34-21 now, and we do move on to the Super Bowl. I normally kind of come in around halftime, but I just zoned out. So looks like it was a battle of the offenses as both quarterbacks threw 3 touchdowns and no picks. Luckily, we came out on top, and it looks like the running game may have actually played a big part in that, as Le'Veon Bell has 193 yards and 1 touchdown compared to Melvin Gordon's 67 yards and no touchdowns. So we are, in fact, moving on to the Super Bowl. Pretty exciting stuff, and we'll see who we're taking on. So here in the Super Bowl, we're going to be taking on the 11-5 Philadelphia Eagles, which is kind of surprising. We traded with them quite a bit, and we took a couple of their really good players. They're only an 83 overall. If we don't win this game, I'll be very, very disappointed. So we actually got out to a really quick 14-0 lead. We're currently up 28-10 in the third quarter, and it's looking like we're actually going to win the Super Bowl here in year number 3. Guys, we took the Browns to the Super Bowl, and we won in 3 years. Fantastic rebuild, in my opinion. I kind of want to take a look at stats, and I forgot to look at who won MVP again, but Baldridge actually threw 2 picks. That's crazy. But Le'Veon Bell won MVP without a doubt. 4 touchdowns, 166 yards. That's crazy out of him. Julio Jones had a touchdown. Nelson Aguilar and John Kuhn had a touchdown. That's pretty weird. But defensive, Jamie Collins, and, he got our only sack. And then Marcus Williams, who we had at one point, picked us off along with Jordan Hicks. So we did end up winning the Super Bowl. Very happy about that, and I'll show you guys the final team here in just a sec. So like you guys saw before, we did end up with a 99 offense and defense for a 95 overall. So here's the final team. We have a 97 overall quarterback, Le'Veon Bell, AP, Julio Jones, Corey Coleman, Mike Evans, Zach Ertz. The offense is insane. The O-line is crazy. Joe Thomas, Joe Bitonio, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Jack Conklin. As for the defense, I mean, the secondary got so good by season 3, along with the D-line. Darius Slay, Ronald Darby, Jalen Ramsey at corners. That's insane. Tyrann Mathieu and Landon Collins both at safety. And then we have Emmanuel Agba. What's his name? Jonathan? I don't remember his name, actually. Jonte. Okay. Jonte Pinkston, Quan Alexander, and Jamie Collins at the linebacking spots. And then on the D-line, we got DeForest Buckner, Fletcher Cox, Danny Shelton, and Joey Bosa. And then this other guy that we drafted that he was actually pretty good, but we ended up with Joey Bosa, so we didn't really need him. But that is the final team, and I'm actually really happy we ended up winning a Super Bowl in this one. Just mostly because of the Browns to the Super Bowl thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like down below. And if you guys have any suggestions or teams that you would like to see me do next, feel free to leave a comment, and I will definitely take it into consideration. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys all have a great day.